today's live, my guest is already in the other side of my screen. Before I introduce to him, I want to bring one phrases which is written by a Brazilian author. He's my favorite author. His Paulo Coelho, and he has written, "Life is always a matter of time, waiting for the right moment to act." And this is apt for my guest today because he has, waited for the right moment, did everything what matters for the right moment, and come out excelled for the right moment. He's Saurabh Chharia, and he is the best public speaking coach in India. He's a trainer, he's an author, whatnot. And let's talk to him and see his journey from where comfort zone to something else. To be an entrepreneur is not a joke, and we have to know more about this from him. Hi Saurabh, how are you?
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Jyothi. I'm doing awesome. It's my pleasure to be in your session. In fact, I've been seeing your videos a lot. Very inspiring indeed. I'm very happy to be a part of it now as a guest. Thank you for calling me.
Thank you so much. And as I mentioned, you have come from a comfort zone job. You were actually an HR and a business analyst in TCS for 6 years, and you left a comfort zone job everybody likes to have a fancy package and happy, enjoy the weekends. Now you left that and you have come to be, you're now an entrepreneur, you're a writer, you're a speaker. It's very difficult, How did you leave that job and comfort zone and come out of it?
I understand, It was not easy, by the way, Jyothi, to be honest. So I'll tell you the process I applied, okay? See, I was a born introvert. Okay, I was a very shy person, extreme shy person. And no one ever thought that this guy can become a speaker. Okay, that's how I was.
Okay.
And a few situations in my life where I had to struggle even to speak to one person. For example, I couldn't even go to the shop and bring something. That's how I was. I couldn't go and speak to a neighbor. That's how I was. If a telephone rings, I used to go and hide in the bedroom. That's how I was. Extreme shy. Okay, but I'm from a Brahmin family, so inclined towards spirituality, inclined towards soft thoughts. So I grew up studying a lot of books. Like I remember the book called as Wisdom. Chala chinna book undedi, very small book, thin book,
very small,
published in Chennai, and my dad used to bring that book. I used to love reading those books. I had passion of gathering photos of successful people and write something about them. That's how I was, but I couldn't speak. I was very shy. Okay. But that speaker within me was there who was sleeping, okay, and I wanted him to be awake. So what I realized was, till my 10th, I was very shy, extreme shy, introvert, and after that, I went to intermediate. Like any typical South Indian, or I would say the people from Andhra and Telangana, I went to Sri Chaitanya. Okay, that's where I went. I call it literally a jail because it was a jail for me. And there I got to know about Swami Vivekananda through my professor Sriman Narayana. He is a professor of Sanskrit, and he introduced the picture of Swami Vivekananda, and that really changed my life because I understood about mindset. I understood about fear. See, the definition of fear, according to me, is false evidence appearing real. Okay, which means it's not true, but you create that fear in you. I was scared of what people will think about me. I was scared, what if I don't do well? What if I cannot perform in my exams? So I used to create a lot of what ifs in my head. And I was so scared to do what I was liking to do, which was speaking. Slowly, I overcame that negative self-talk. I shifted to positive self-talk because of Vivekananda, because of his book. And slowly, I started seeing change in my life, Jyothi. And in my engineering, I am from KITS Warangal. It is one of the top 3 colleges in Telangana state. I am from KITS Warangal, mechanical engineer. So when I was in engineering, Jyothi, I became so passionate to speak. I used to crave for speaking. I lost my fear. I went to Islam University, I went to IIT Kanpur, I went to SRM, I went to Andhra University, and I used to win prizes for speaking because I was fearless. Okay. And that moment, that passion within me started growing. And I was not speaking for money. I was speaking because I liked speaking. I was speaking because it was my fear, and I overcame my fear.
Okay.
Slowly in that process, I got placed in TCS. Okay, and I thought I will get a chance to speak in TCS. But you know what? How was in TCS? It was tikum. My life became a life of machines. Okay, I used to go
No,
at
but
night.
HR speak a lot, no, Saurabh.
Yes,
HR.
I'll tell you, I joined as an engineer. I was not an HR. Okay, I joined as an engineer, a typical mechanical engineer, because
Okay.
I don't have an MBA degree, right? Now I joined
No,
as an
okay.
engineer, and it all involved was tikum 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 tikum. I was fed up with that job within a year, okay, because I was not liking it, because it was all about being technical, and I was not a technical guy. I was always a soft guy, soft skills guy. Then I requested my manager that, guy, please, I request you change me to something soft. Okay. Then he made me a business analyst. Then my job
Okay.
was to speak with people on phone.
Okay.
I was not an MBA. I was still a mechanical engineer guy. But because of my speaking ability, they gave me a chance to have a customer facing role. I used to work for a UK
Okay.
project. My only job was 6 to 7 hours speak on a phone. I loved it. Okay. I
Of
enjoyed
course.
it. I got promotions. I got everything because of that. And then I thought, this is not working for me. Let me become an
Okay.
HR. Then I
Okay.
shifted to Hyderabad and then I became an HR. Now, in this whole process, Jyothi, because I was
Uh-huh.
not liking what I was doing, I started training part time. You have to understand this.
Hmm.
My
Hmm.
passion was of becoming a speaker. Okay. And slowly that
Absolutely.
passion was reflecting through my job, but I didn't leave it
Hmm.
there. I
Hmm.
started doing trainings part time from Bangalore. I was working in Bangalore. I used to come to Hyderabad for training people. I started with YouTube videos. I created a website called saurabchharia.com. I slowly
Okay.
started doing things part time, very important. Okay. I
Hmm.
started following my passion part time, and slowly I started getting money from it because people started watching it.
Watching it.
They
Absolutely.
started calling me. They said, Saurabh, you're a good speaker. Why don't you train us? So I didn't never wanted to do business, Jyoti. It just happened because my business is nothing but my passion. When your passion becomes your profession, that's an ultimate combination. So after
Oh,
two,
wonderful.
yeah, I'll say it once again. When your passion becomes your profession, that's an ultimate combination. And that happened with me eventually. I never wanted to do it for money. It just happened. I did it for 2 years. My team was knowing it, my manager was knowing it, and he was happy because it was not something relevant to my job. I was doing something different. Okay. And after doing for 2 years, after generating some revenue out of my trainings, I thought I want to focus full time on it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then I played very safe. Okay. I was not that person that I'm very passionate, let me resign, let me start something on my own. That's not the right way, according to me. If you really love something, do it. Check it. Are you really passionate to do it, even without money? See it for minimum 2 years. If you still feel that passion, then I would say get out of your job. If you're able to generate some revenue, get out of your job
Okay.
and do it full time. And believe me, once I started doing full time, my life has completely transformed. Currently, I'm working with a couple of MPs, couple of MLAs. Currently working with many business owners across India and across the globe as well. So slowly, life has changed because I've taken my passion as a full time profession. And now people know me as author, people know me as speaker, people know me as coach. It all happened because I just followed my passion. And anyone can do it. Not only me, anyone can do it. But how? First, identify your passion. Okay. Work upon it for 2 years and then slowly get out of it. If you do this, then you are in the right direction. Because I know people who directly jump in a business and they leave and go back in a year. The reason is they think it's easy. Okay. So what I would say is test the waters before going deep in the water. So first start checking yourself if you're comfortable. Doing it part time for 1 or 2 years. And then if you're comfortable, then you can get full time into your business or whatever it is, your passion. So that's how I did it, Jyoti, and that's how I recommend people to do it. That's the process according to me. Yeah.
No, wonderfully said. You said that you have to try things and then only get into things. That's
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
And when you don't have your mind and your heart in something, you'll not excel in it.
Yes. Yes.
On it.
Money is an outcome. Money is an outcome, Jyoti. You do it because you love it.
Don't think like that, Saurabh. Let me
Yes,
be very frank with you.
yes, 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 yes. I
Most of
understand.
them are are
I
so
understand.
that
Yes,
that
yes.
yeah. So
And I
that
like
it
that in you, Jyoti. I like that in you. See, you're doing the sessions not for the money, for your passion. I love it. That smile you have on your face, that is contagious, okay? And that
thank you.
shows the passion you have for it. And that's what I say. Money is an outcome. When you do something you love, money happens. But many people, as you said, don't realize this. I have realized it. You have realized it. I wish people realize this. Find what you love, do it part time, and then jump into it full time.
Very well said. Now,
Yeah.
we'll go more detail about you, but one thing I want to ask is during this pandemic, what was that one change in you which you has brought and you want to share it with everybody, that one change, and they should also get inspired by it. What was that one change in you?
Yes, I would mention two changes here. Okay. In fact, I would
Okay.
say two to three changes. First
Okay.
change, I should say it happened in everyone, Jyothi, was a
Mm-hmm.
paradigm shift. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
paradigm in
Mm-hmm.
the sense we were used to do things in a certain way before. Okay. We
Correct.
get up 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, or 7 o'clock in the morning, get ready, go to office, have lunch, come home. It
Absolutely.
was a typical lifestyle. Now, once Corona came, the life transformed. And even for me, I
Mm-hmm.
realized that we have to be flexible. That was my biggest learning. In life,
Mm-hmm.
we should be flexible. I am an NLP coach as well. There is a saying in NLP, okay? One way
Mm-hmm.
stuck, two-way dilemma, three-way
Mm-hmm.
choice, freedom, flexibility. Which means
Okay.
when you have three options, you have
Mm-hmm.
choice, you have freedom, you
Mm-hmm.
have flexibility.
Okay.
What I realized
Okay.
was NLP came into action in my life because of Corona. Because I thought
Oh,
public speaking can never be done online. That was my assumption. Okay.
okay.
And
Okay.
one way
Okay.
stuck. When the lockdown came, what happened? I got stuck. That there is no public speaking sessions happening. People cannot gather. How can I do? How can I do? One way stuck.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely. Yeah.
but then I thought I should be flexible. So three-way choice, freedom, flexibility. I thought if it's not happening, what is the other way? I said online. What is the other way? Maybe live interactive sessions. So slowly I
Mm-hmm.
created many online products, Jyoti. I created a course. I created
Mm-hmm.
online live sessions in Zoom. And I thought how
Mm-hmm.
public speaking can be trained in a live interactive way. I did it. I created few thoughts. As you said, I invented, I created because I was thinking towards how to make it happen. Okay. So that was my
Absolutely.
biggest learning, Jyoti. We have to be
Mm-hmm.
flexible. As
Mm-hmm.
NLP says, you should have three choices. It
Okay.
gives you freedom and flexibility. Okay. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that was my biggest learning. Be flexible. And second learning was
Mm-hmm.
about focusing on the self. Okay. Because what
Mm-hmm.
happens
Mm-hmm.
is when things are normal, we are always focused on others. We forget ourselves. There was a time in my life where I never had time to see myself in the mirror and realize that you are getting fat. because because I had a vision of me as a young 25 years old, and I had always that
Okay.
vision in my head.
Okay. Okay.
I never had got a chance to see myself what I was becoming in the process. And then in the
Okay.
lockdown, I got that time, Jyoti. I got a chance to see myself properly. And I realized that I'm gaining a lot of weight. I'll show you a small photo. Okay? I just want to share
Yeah,
this.
please. Yeah,
Okay?
please.
Because this is important. People should know this. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can. 1 minute. I'm adding. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. You can see my screen. Now see this photo. Now I call
Oh
it
my
as version 2.0. Okay. No, I never realized it,
God.
Jyoti. I became so fat. I never realized because I had a vision of me as a 25 years old. Okay. Then I thought, oh my God, what the hell have you become, Saurabh? Then slowly within 6 months, I changed my food habits. That was the first thing I did, Jyoti. I
Okay.
did, I removed all the junks from my life. Zero sugar, zero milk, zero
Okay.
white milk. Removed all the
Okay.
whites. No white salt, no white sugar, no white rice, no white milk. And
Okay.
within few months, within 3 to 4 months, I saw amazing difference in my body. I was doing little exercise, not more, and I could
Mm-hmm.
reduce 10 kgs of weight, Jyoti, in this process.
Okay.
Stop
Okay.
sharing. Okay. And then I realized that, Saurabh, you cannot stop here. Now
Okay.
I'm in a journey of becoming more fitter. I'm going to gym, very regular to gym these days. I'm aiming
Mm-hmm.
for a six-pack body, which is in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have
Mm-hmm.
realized from fat to fit, that has become my passion and goal. Okay, and I'm going
Okay.
to achieve it. By March, I'm going to achieve it. Because I realized, Jyoti, second step, which is where second thing which I realized was you have to be self-focused. You have
Okay.
to understand what are your weaknesses
Mm-hmm.
and you have to fix
Mm-hmm.
them. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
health was one of them for me, and second was the peace of mind. Okay. I started meditating as well in lockdown. I started spending 30 minutes meditating. I started doing exercise for 30 minutes and I started eating healthy. That was the second very important change happened in my life. So these are the
Oh,
top two changes I would say, which
mm-hmm.
really impacted my life, Jyoti.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
So this really happened in the
yeah.
lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? We were saying two, three. No, what happened to the third one?
Third one is also important because this is very important for me, but people don't think in that way. Okay, two I shared with you. Third one, let me share. Okay, third one was
Okay.
living in the present. That was my biggest learning. The reason was, I'll tell you, because of
Uh-huh.
Corona, a lot of losses I also incurred. Okay, in the month of April, because it's summer month, okay, April, May, June, I have a lot of business of students. Okay, we do summer camps, and it's a decent
Mm-hmm.
amount we earn in that time. Now, it was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of losses for me personally because
Mm-hmm.
all my trainings, everything was shut. Now,
Okay.
that creates stress. What
Uh,
happens? You start living in the future. You start worrying about the future. Like, what will happen? What
absolutely.
will happen? What will happen? What will
Absolutely.
happen? Yes. Now, that was my biggest learning that that is not in my hands. It's not my
Mm-hmm.
mistake. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, you have to learn to live in the present. Now, calming down myself, meditating really helped me for that. I started
Mm-hmm.
calming down myself and I said, it's okay. It's not in your hands. You have to be okay with it. So that was the third biggest change, Jyothi. I stopped
Uh-huh.
worrying and I started
Okay.
living in the present. I started enjoying my life. I started becoming fitter. I started becoming better. So these three were very important things in my
Mm-hmm.
life which transformed in this lockdown. I became more healthier. I became more peaceful. Okay. And I got to know that there can be better ways of doing things, not just one way. So these were my top three takeaways from the
Okay.
lockdown, which
What
I applied.
this lockdown has benefited you like anything because I've
Yes,
seen your transformation picture just now, which you shared.
yes, yes.
Wonderful, and you also have also without asking itself, you have told what you have done for it. It's one.
Yes, yes, yes. That's important.
Because
Otherwise, that's the next question I know you're going to ask.
yeah, because people don't know, very good. I mean, people who are watching now and who will watch it after a podcast is
Yes,
that this is something which everybody should know. Try to survive in whatever existence is one of
yes,
the good thing which you have told to us. Of all the things, I think I love the way you said that not to think about the future and live in the present. That's something
yes,
which really, really, I think most of the youngsters
yes,
always feel what will happen to them in the future. What and tell me something. There is a lot of layoffs happening in
yes,
companies, whether it is IT because you worked in
yes,
IT and you've been an IT
yes,
professional. So there is a lot of psychological problems people are going through because of these layoffs happening and whether they're losing jobs, they might lose jobs. These dilemmas and everything. You see, the psychiatrists are the people who are earning more than anybody else now. So,
yes, yes, yes.
so what do you want to say to the people out there? Will there be a change in the IT? Will it become normal? Will there? What is your perception on? What is your direction on it?
See, what I believe, Jyoti, is no, if something is happening which is not in your hands, first you have to
Mm-hmm.
accept it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is if you don't accept it, you will only
Mm-hmm.
bitch about it. Okay. And you will only mess with it. Because the problem with all of us humans is we are problem focused, not solution focused. Most of us.
Okay.
If
Okay.
something goes wrong, we only talk about what went wrong, but we never think of the solution for it. In
Okay.
fact,
Okay.
it would have happened with me, Jyoti. It literally happened with me. I went completely from here to here after lockdown, isn't it? Now I said,
Absolutely.
amazing. I love it. It's an opportunity. Okay, it's an opportunity, and I started creating opportunities. Jyoti. I would say people who are laid off, they are the most luckiest people on the earth because they are getting second chance to think what can be done
Awesome.
better. So I would have done that because literally I have done this for myself, right? So, but for that to happen, Jyoti, you have to come out of the problem orientedness. You have to come to the solution orientedness. That is important.
Okay.
Just accept that, okay, I'm laid off. Perfect. That's okay. Do I have the bank balance for the next 3 months? Okay, I have for the 3 months. I can take care of my family. What should I do for the next 3 months? Then
Okay.
start skilling up yourself. The reason why you are laid off were you are not good enough. If you are good enough, they'll never lay you. They'll never lay you.
Oh.
They'll never lay you. Because people want people whom they should depend upon, right? So you have to create the dependency on you. So if you're laid off, accept it. Second thing, skill yourself up so that they can never fire you again. Because if they
Oh.
fire you, the company shuts down. That is how it should be. That is how you should be. That's what I believe in. Okay. So first accept it. Okay. And then focus on skilling yourself up to a level that they cannot afford to fire you again. And then start looking for someone to hire you and give them extra value, so much value in you that they can never
Okay.
think of firing you. That is how I see it. And I believe it's a blessing if it happened with people. I understand it was a struggle for a few months, but it will be a blessing for lifetime because you realize that you're not good enough. If you are good enough, they will never fire you. So
Oh, no.
that's okay.
That's a very
Accept it.
strong word you have used, and
Yes, yes. No, I believe it is. It is so. It is so.
yeah, yes,
Because
yes, yes, absolutely.
perspective.
Yeah,
It's about perspective, Jyoti. That's my
absolutely.
perspective. Yes,
They should realize it's what they are going through. Absolutely.
yes,
And
yes.
you're saying that they should plan for what they're going to do. Is that
I'll tell
so?
you. So I'm telling you. I'll tell you an example. Okay.
Mm.
My brother-in-law. Okay. Now
Mm.
he's also into IT. He
Mm.
got 2 job offers in this Corona period,
Okay.
and which
Mm.
is which is maybe around 5 to 6 times his current salary. Now I cannot tell the salary because it is so huge.
Ah,
You
no
can't
need.
even imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. It's so huge salary. Okay. Now there are
Okay.
people who have stuffs. They are getting promotions. They are getting jobs. They are getting it because they are skilled enough. There are
Okay.
people who are getting laid off because they are not good enough. They have to understand and accept this. Unless they accept it, it's not going to work.
It's
Okay.
not going to work.
So you have to accept it. We cannot be problem focused, Jyoti. Done is done. It's not in our hands. What else can be done is the question. So once you get in that mode of looking for answers, Jyoti, you will find answers. It can be a business, it can be a training, it can be whatever you like. You create some options for you, skill yourself up, and then launch yourself up. That is what I
Very,
believe in.
very
Yeah.
nice.
That's what
Fantastic.
I did, isn't it? I was stuck because my
Mm.
training was off, my office was off. I had to pay a rent, which is huge rent. But
Absolutely.
but I said I cannot think of problems. I cannot bitch about problems. Accept the problem. Think of what can I do. I skilled myself up. I was not good with online videos, to be honest. Not at all. I was not good at live sessions, not at all. I skilled myself up and I
Absolutely.
launched myself and I made good revenues because I was solution oriented. So again, I say if you lost your job, accept it, feel you're lucky, skill yourself up, find better opportunity. That is how
Well,
life should work. Yeah,
well
that is
said.
how life. Yes,
Very true, Saurabh. And that too coming from you, a speaker and a trainer like you, I think
yes,
that confidence will be built with all the people who are going through this situation. Now, tell me
yes.
something. You also written a book, uh, and you have to tell me about your book. It's called as From the Stage of Fear to Awesome.
From
What's
stage
this?
fear to stage awesome, confidence motion. So here is my
Yeah,
book.
what's this?
I'll show you my
Oh,
book. Okay, here is my book. Confidence
yeah.
motion from stage fear to stage awesome. Okay, this is my first authored book. I'm writing my second book now. Now, this
Okay.
name confidence motion is the name of my training. Okay.
Okay.
Now, people
Okay.
who know me, they know me through my training, which is confidence motion. It is one
Okay.
of the best coachings available in Hyderabad on public speaking. In fact, you can Google, you will find about this course and this book. Okay. Now, this book
Okay.
is purely about public speaking, Jyoti. It's
Okay.
purely about how you can overcome that fear of speaking on stage and become a good speaker. Learn the art of public speaking, how to start, how to end, how to use body language, voice modulation, eye connection, how to overcome that stage fear. So, all the basic nuances of public speaking and overcoming the
Mhm.
fear is covered in this book. So, this book
Wonderful.
is a must read if you are aspiring to overcome the stage fear. So, as it says, from
Most of
stage
the
fear to
people have
stage
it.
art.
Yeah. Most
Yes,
of the people have it, and I
yes.
think it's a wonderful book. And is it available in Amazon? How is
Yes,
it?
it is. It is available in Amazon. You can just Google this name. You will find it in Amazon, or you can search my name, Saurabh Chharia. You will find it. And as you rightly
Yeah,
said, Jyoti,
you
73.
know, you can search his name in Google and go and buy this book if you really want to come out of all that fear of public speaking and talking to people in live or even doing some sessions like this. It's people have a fear. So if you have such fear, you can just Google it. Yeah, someone be saying something.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to add something to what you said, Jyoti. See, you said
Mm-hmm.
majority of the people are scared of speaking. According to a research,
Mm-hmm.
73% of the people, 73% of people are
Mm-hmm.
ready to jump from a cliff. They're ready to be bitten by a snake, but they're not ready to go on stage, go and speak on stage. This is called as glossophobia.
Yeah.
73%. stage fear. Now, just imagine, it is a majority fear. Now,
Absolutely.
public speaking is the biggest fear in the whole world. When you overcome this fear, you become fearless. You become good. You become naturally confident in other areas of your life. I have some of my clients, they said to me, Saurabh, after your training, I feel I became a better driver because I feel confident while driving even. Because the
Nice.
confidence he got in his head, his self-image changed completely. Now, even while driving, that confidence is reflecting. Even while talking, the confidence is reflecting. It reflects in all aspects of your life because it is the biggest fear in the whole world. So you are conquering the biggest fear. That's what I did. That's what you did, Jyothi. Otherwise, it's
Exactly.
not easy going live every single day. I know how hard it is. Recorded videos are still fine. I've done a lot of videos for Suman TV recently. Okay, it is still fine. Going live is not easy at all. A word went out, cannot be taken back. Risky
Cannot be
job,
repaired. Yeah. Yeah.
risky
Yeah.
job, and you are doing it. Applaud for you. Okay, I'm really happy
Thank
to
you
see
so
the
much.
initiative.
Thank
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Because I've come from radio background, I've done live shows a lot. That's not
yes,
that I
yes,
think that's one of the reason.
yes,
But I
yes,
was not visually comfortable initially. Now I
yes,
am. So
yes.
thanks for that, anyways. But Saurabh, you tell me something. Why is this fear? Actually, I always had
Yes.
this notion when somebody
I'll tell
tells me,
you.
yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah,
the reason. Okay. Now, what happens is, see, the fear is an outcome. Okay, the fear is an outcome of your past experiences, Jyoti. Now, what happens is, see, it's all the game of self-image. It's all the game of beliefs. Now, what happens is,
okay.
assuming as a student, think of you as a student in your school days. If you tried
Mhm,
speaking on stage and you failed in it, now what
mhm,
happened is there is a memory stored in your head. There is a
mhm,
emotion stored in your body. Now, when you try speaking next time, that emotion and that image tries to tell
mhm,
you that Jyoti, don't go on stage. Last time you failed. Don't go on stage. Last time you failed. Because body
mhm.
and mind are trying to save you, literally save you from a
Okay.
place of danger.
Mhm,
Now, slowly that fear grows up because of your past negative experiences, and
mhm.
slowly it becomes automatic. Jyoti, it's like a habit. See, if you do
Oh,
something again and again, it becomes a habit, isn't it? Now,
absolutely.
because you kept failing in the past, in reality, and sometimes in your head you just keep visualizing you failing. I've seen people literally, when they think of
Mhm.
speaking on stage, they create a fear, they create an image of fear in their head. And even I'm an NLP expert, so according to NLP, even visualization is as powerful as reality, which means if you keep visualizing something again and again, you tend to believe it. So people, they visualize themselves failing on stage, they fail only once in reality, but they visualize failing 100 times in reality,
Times in mind, yeah.
in the mind, and which is as close as reality. And slowly what
Absolutely.
happens, it becomes an autopilot thing, it becomes a belief. And the moment they see stage, the moment they see people in front of them, the body and the
Mhm.
mind gives them signal that don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. That's when the breath goes high, that's when the hands are folded, that's when all these negative gestures happen.
It's
Because the
just happen.
body, yes, body and the mind are trying to save you, tell you that don't do, don't do, don't do. So these are signals. That's when the filler words ahs and ums and okays and you knows and knows. ఇవన్నీ వస్తాయి అన్నమాట. These are the signs of nervousness because
Okay.
of your past experience. The
Okay.
self-image of you is of an average speaker, and you're
Oh,
trying to go and speak on stage, which is not matching with your reality. That's why you
mhm.
have fear. What is the solution for this? Only one solution, Jyoti. Permanent solution is change your self-image. How can you change it? By changing your experiences on stage. You have to feel great on stage. You have to visualize great on stage. It's a deep topic I cannot cover in next 5 minutes.
I can
But
understand now. This is something which you cannot tell it in a half
yes,
an hour, 1 hour show.
yes, yes,
Actually, to tell you that I'm with you, people have to go to some trainer like Saurabh and
yes,
get trained on this because this is not easy. See, I am from a radio background. I've gone and trained in Pune, Micah, and also I am able to talk like this because I've done radio shows, so I'm doing
yes,
it. It's
yes,
even I got trained. So people without getting trained, if you go, even the business heads to CEOs get huge training before they go
yes,
under.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm
So
training a couple of them. I'm training a couple of CEOs and MDs and politicians right now because everyone
so
goes to this fear, Jyoti. Everyone goes to this fear.
absolutely, that's why I
Yes,
took their name. Yeah, I've
yes,
seen people, business heads or
yes,
whoever they don't have half of what people who are hosting shows like RJs have that kind of fear. They have huge fears that they
Yes,
may fail, that they may talk wrong.
yes,
So,
yes,
yeah, as you said, people should go for proper training and get trained on these things, and then only they can understand. It's not like, one
yes,
session in this live session, if they watch, they'll get out of the fear. It's not.
yes. It's all
And
about changing your self-image, Jyoti. That's what I say. It's all about changing your self-image.
now, Saurabh, it will be different from each person. It will be different, right? If you
No, it
might.
is. It's a permanent fix. If you want to become a good speaker, you should change the way you see yourself as a speaker. That's a period. Last. That is the only solution. Because we all are humans. We have one problem. The problem is of our imagination. We all imagine ourselves as not being good enough. That's the only problem. When you
Okay.
fix this image, for example, now Jyothi has an image of her as a speaker, and she believes I'm a great speaker, period, no second thought. When that image is fixed, you cannot perform bad than that. You have to perform good because you believe you are good enough. Okay. Problem with people is they believe they're not good enough. They believe that I cannot speak on stage. That is their
Okay.
negative self-image. Solution is you have to fix the self-image. Plus, rightly said, tools may be different. Some people may have problem with body language, some may have problem with voice modulation, some may have problem with storytelling. But those tools are secondary, Jyoti. Primary is you should have a belief that I'm a good speaker.
Okay.
And that can happen only if you fix your self-image. The way you see yourself as a speaker really matters. If you have an image of a bad speaker, you can never give a good speech. Never. It's not possible.
It's absolutely not possible. I am with you
Yes.
on this.
Yes.
You also have done coaching and training for many people in different sectors. Can
Yes.
you throw light on it? And what was the kind of coachings and what was the kind of trainings have you done?
See, that's what I said. So I have broadly I do three kind of things, Jyoti. First thing is my profession is I'm a public speaking coach. Okay.
Okay.
I train senior professionals. When I say senior professionals, CEOs, CFOs, top politicians like MPs and MLAs, and I train people who are into spirituality as well, and I train them one to one on public speaking. My job for them is to fix this self-image, make them
Okay.
believe that they are good speakers. Plus, I teach them the tools. Okay, that is my first thing which I do. Second thing is I do a lot of group trainings on public speaking, where like professionals like you, professionals like people into IT, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Wells Fargo, TCS, they come together in a group of around 15 people, and I train them how to speak comfortably and confidently without any fear. Okay, that is my course called as Confidence Motion. This is my second product which I do.
Okay. Okay.
Apart from
Okay.
this, Jyoti, I do a lot of trainings for corporates. Okay,
Okay.
I've done it for Maruti, I've done it for Tata's. Recently, I've done it for Indisco, maybe for yesterday. I was there in a session. So I do a lot of motivational sessions for them, Jyoti. Like I go as a motivation speaker for them, pump them for 1 hour, 2 hour, install that enthusiasm in them, and come back. That is the
That's
third
nice.
kind of thing I do for
That's
corporate.
most important. That's most needed also.
Yes, I do that a lot for corporate companies. And
Okay.
apart from all the three, specifically, sometimes if the request comes from a corporate that sort of why don't you change, why don't you train our team members on leadership skills, communication skills? I do it ad hocly. I depends on again the need of the people. I create a customized course for them, and then I do it. I don't follow any templated processes based on the need of the company. I make it,
Company.
yeah, I tailor my courses and deliver for them. That is something which I do occasionally, not regularly. But my regular coachings are this is one of my courses, my one-to-one public trainings, plus motivational speaking for corporate.
Motivation trainings for corporates. No,
Yes. So
while you're telling, you told that you have done a lot of leadership trainings also. So,
yes.
something, what is that today's leaders are lacking in terms of? I'm talking about the only about the corporates. I'm not going to the
Yes.
leader, political leaders. Not them. Let's not
Yes.
talk them. Then
Yes.
company में कुछ professional leaders who are
Yes.
head. What is that one thing which they lack and they should develop?
Yes.
What?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. See, I think the one thing which they're really lacking is empathy. That
Okay.
is the root cause of all the evil. If Saurabh cannot go in the shoes of Jyoti and think like Jyoti thinks, Saurabh cannot make sure that Jyoti works well. He cannot. As a business owner, as a CEO, as a CFO, you should know how it feels being on the other side. That is empathy. If you don't know that, then you cannot become a good leader. A good leader is always empathetic. He knows how it feels from the other side. Only then he takes the right decisions. Otherwise, he becomes Hitler. He takes decision which is only according to him is right, but according
Okay.
to people, it's not right. That's not a right thing.
Absolutely.
Empathy, empathy, empathy. That is one of the biggest requirement people should have. And second thing, a very important thing, if you are because you asked me to tell you, second thing is installing passion and vision in people. They're lacking it because leaders, what they do is they treat people like we call them resources. Very bad language, resources. In TCS, in fact, forget TCS, I won't take the name, but in all corporates, I've seen majorly, they call people as resources. You're not a computer, you're not a laptop to be called as a resource. First be empathetic with them and then install the purpose and vision. Why you're working. Okay, what's the bigger vision? What is the impact of this product? You should have that vision in your head when you're working. For him, what happens for an employee, it's just about finishing that code and giving to the next person. But that's not the reality. Actually, he's creating a product which is assuming example of a banking product. People are able to deposit and take money because these people are writing the code. So a good leader should be able to install that vision in the employee so that they are motivated enough, passionate enough to work. This is really missing, Jyothi, because I do a lot of these trainings in these two aspects. Okay.
So that's rightly said because I think we also, because I'm also heading a team. Even by mistake, we also call them as a resource. When you said this word, it hit me because I also told many times like that to the team people. This was not intentionally that we must have learned from somebody who must have told us. So we
Yes.
end up telling this.
Very
So
true. Very true. Yeah.
very valuable thing which you have told. You should never call your team as resources. Very nicely said, and yeah.
Yeah. And that vision, Jyoti, for example, right now the vision is you are installing. See, right now when you do FM, right, you are actually giving entertainment to people. You are making people happy, to be honest. So you should install that vision in your employees. That boss, your job is not to host the show. Your job is to make people happy. You are a happy making person. Do your job in that fashion. So he will love. He will have that passion for his job. That is called as installing vision, and I love this. There is a book called as Start with Why, Jyoti. I would recommend to people. Okay, Starts with
Start
Why
with why.
by Simon Sinek. Beautiful book. It
Okay.
talks about vision. It talks about why you're doing everything. That's a beautiful book.
Even I would really recommend all the people who are in the leadership thing, who are heading teams, whether small, big, whether you're running your own company, please read this book. It's recommended by Saurabh.
Starts with
What
Why.
again?
Starts with Why
Starts with why
by
by
Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek.
Yeah.
So please note down when you guys see the show later. So Saurabh, we'll be ending this session now. Before I end, it was a wonderful session I had with you. Tell me something. What is you? What do you feel about the youth today? I mean, you are also an actor. Forget about me. I'm a little old. But what is the thing?
Yeah. No, you are very young, Jyoti.
No. I'm very old. It'll be somewhere from my age. I don't want to reveal it any which ways, but yeah. Tell me something. What is the youth, the youngsters today should develop themselves? Because
Yes,
youngsters are quite different from what we were
yes,
even 15 years ago. What we started our careers 15, 17 years ago, we were much more. We never used to get so emotional. Now I find the youngsters are too emotional. They can't take anything to heart. They take everything to heart and very, very emotional. So, what do you have to say to the people, I mean, to the youngsters who are now starting their career and
yes,
everything like that?
yes, yes, yes. That's a good question. Okay. See, I would say the most important thing which is lacking currently, which we were blessed with, and these people are suffering with, is called as distraction. They are suffering with distraction Jyoti, because of this device called as phone. Okay.
Oh,
Lot of distraction. Because of this distraction, the focus has gone zero. We were blessed, I would say, Jyoti, we never had phones or at least smartphones. We
yeah.
used to study, we could focus for an hour or 2 hours. But right now,
Yeah.
the problem with youth is the problem of focus. They're not able to focus. And that is the big problem. Because if you're not able to focus, you cannot do a great work. Great work requires focus. I remember when I was writing this book, it required intense focus, intense focus. It's not easy. So now people are lacking it, Jyoti. Students are lacking it. Not only students, everyone is lacking it. So we have to learn to use this device in a little effective way, because it should be a use to us. It should not be a distraction device for us. Now that's one suggestion for youths. You have to learn to focus. That is very important. And second, very important thing according to me is patience, Jyoti. Now we remember the days, right? I have seen my father. Okay, my father used to write letters to his father, my grandfather, and he used to put in that red color letter box and patiently wait for 15, 20 days for his response. That patience we had. My dad used
Absolutely.
to go and stand in a queue. I went along with him in a bank to deposit. Our patience, one long day, we had that patience.
అవును తప్పకుండా నిజమే.
Now kids, they have everything at their home. Okay, they want something from Amazon. If they say it's going to deliver after 2 days, they say, Amma, 2 days, I cannot wait. I will go and buy it. They want everything immediately. Okay.
Absolutely. I agree
Food
with
is
you.
coming, food is coming immediately. Everything you want is coming immediately. Now that patience has gone for a toss. Recently, one guy called me. Okay, he just joined his first job. Jyoti. Please understand, very important thing. He
Okay.
called me. He joined his first job. He joined just within 5 days. He's telling me this. He called me. I'm his mentor. He said, Saurabh, you know what? I joined this job. I'm not liking it. Shall I resign? In 5 days. He said, in 5 days, Saurabh, I think I'm not going to work. I don't like working here. Shall I resign my job? I'll find something better. I said, boss, it's just 5 days. Be patient. At least give 1 year of time. Same thing with relationships, Jyoti. People are breaking up as if it's cake or biscuit. They're breaking
No,
up.
yeah.
Within
Relationship is too difficult to handle. I'm not going to talk about it now. Nowadays,
patience.
it's just
People
like
don't have patience. That's the problem. They don't
not
have patience.
at all. Let's not go into relationship only because it will be never ending. Because
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like a
That's why I
very
said
serious topic, and yeah,
one
today's
of the reasons is
generation.
patience. One of the reasons is patience. People don't have patience. Now,
Absolutely.
students, this generation, youth, they don't have patience. We have to learn. We have to teach them patience. Because see, Jyoti, everything which is built in a great way takes time. Writing a book takes time. Accumulating wealth takes time. Getting a degree takes time. Instant gratification is not the solution.
Never, never.
Getting body, getting six pack takes time. Everything great in life takes time. Love takes time. People want everything instantaneous. It's never happen. It's never going to happen. Becoming a great speaker takes time, Jyoti. It doesn't happen in a day.
Ah, Bilkul. Very true.
So you have to have patience in your life, and kids are really lacking it. And in fact, it's a message from my side. You have to learn to develop patience. How can you do it? Learn to do something which requires a lot of time and effort. Okay, you have to do it. Slowly things are. See, if you see cricket matches, Jyoti, we started with test match. Patience, ఎంత ఉండేది? Then one
Chala.
day. Now test match. Now they are playing IPL. Okay, 2020. Now slowly it will become 10-10. Just wait and watch. Then it will become
Oh my
5-5.
God.
You don't have patience. That's the issue.
Not at all. People don't have patience, as you said. I think the youngsters should develop things, and people should reach out to people like you and then learn things. So it's wonderful having you on the show, and thank you so
My
much.
pleasure. My
We'll
pleasure.
have another day, another topic. Until then, take care, Saurabh. Take care. Bye
My
bye.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much for hosting, Jyoti. It was pleasure talking to you and your audience. My pleasure.
Same,
Thank you.
same. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.